lot of stackers have been at it for a number of years, but with all the economical and geopolitical events going on in 2023, we're seeing quite a few new stackers coming in the fold. It happens almost every time a major event occurs and silver makes a jump. And with the newer folks comes the mistakes they're making. We're going to talk about those mistakes and more, so stay tuned. YouTube, what's shaking? Welcome to another episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. And as always, I hope everyone's doing well, and I'd like to thank you for being here today to check out the new video. Honestly, can't thank you folks enough for the awesome support you've given the channel, and it's definitely appreciated more than you know. And like I always say in each video, best damn community on YouTube. You guys are the best. So today we're going to talk a little bit about how new and even seasoned stackers are making mistakes in their silver stacking journeys. Some are mild, others are expensive. But one thing they all have in common, they're avoidable. Anyway, enough of that. Let's go ahead and roll it. Mistake number one, not understanding the main differences between rounds and coins. Now, seasoned stackers, you guys know, silver rounds and coins, they're both made of silver, but that's where the similarities pretty much end. Coins are minted by the government, and they have a face value or denomination, which means they're money. They're money, and they can be used as currency. Not that you'd want to use them for that denomination, though. The silver content alone is worth far more than that. Eagles are great examples. Beautiful coin. Worth $1, at least if you were to sell it, trade it, buy goods with it, whatever. I don't know too many people who are going to use those for $1 in any kind of purchase, but don't knock it. It's happened plenty of times. A lot of them have been freed out there, and they're out in the wild, if you can believe that. But yeah, the same goes for gold bullion. You're not gonna spend gold bullion for the denomination on there. It'd be crazy. Now, rounds are minted by private firms like Scottsdale, Sunshine, Silvertown, and a bunch of others. They don't have legal tender status, which means they can't be used as currency. And there's so many examples of them. You can go on all day. This is a Mason Mint round. Engelhard. Oh, this isn't just any generic round. That's for sure. There's a good premium on these. Same with this one. Another Engelhard. These are the prospectors. Pretty cool. And then you have your basic mint generics, like this one here. So coins are going to be more expensive than rounds because, well, they have a collectability factor that adds a premium on top of the silver price by weight. And rounds are going to be cheaper than coins because they're mostly valued based on spot price of silver as a precious metal, but with a smaller premium. But make no mistake, generics and rounds, they do carry a premium. All right. And don't forget that Tier 2, what I call Tier 2 government issue stuff, is available with denominations, but they're minted by private mints like Scottsdale, minting the Eastern Caribbean nation silver. They're not in the category of the Tier 1 stuff like Eagles, Maples, Brits, yada yada, but they do have a denomination on them, and they're considered currency in their respective nations. Good example of that would be this Lady Justice from Gibraltar, one of my favorites actually. I love this. And if you're in Gibraltar, this is good for £1. Here, it's worth spot price. Well, spot price in Gibraltar too, but you get what I'm saying. So that's the difference between rounds and coins. Mistake number two, purchasing garbage and fakes online. I'm sure most of us have heard the term, if it's too good to be true, then it probably is. At least most of us have. But yet we still have people buying blindly from Facebook ads and other social media sites, and they're getting screwed. There's one floating around on Facebook right now for Silver Eagles. Buy one, get one free. Buy 5, get 5 free. Hey, who doesn't want free silver, right? Good luck. Now, there are plenty of honest folks selling online and social media and whatnot, but it's your responsibility to ask the questions, get the references, and get some feedback from other members of that particular forum. Or keep it simple and find a reputable coin shop and get to know the owner. Now, for every carny shop owner who would take advantage of a new stacker, I'd like to believe there are about a dozen other friendly, knowledgeable dealers who won't hesitate to help you with advice and guidance. So take the title of this video with a grain of salt. Not all coin shops are out to screw you over. But anyway, if you don't have an LCS nearby, then start looking at the online dealers. Just know going in that they're going to have a tendency to be overpriced, like the king of overpriced, AppMex. You're going to be spending a lot more. Now, that said, there are some good ones out there, but when it's all said and done, I'm of the firm opinion that peer-to-peer selling is where the bargains can be found. You know, they don't have the overhead costs to cover, lights to keep on, employees to pay, etc., etc. Just make sure you're doing your research on the sellers before you buy. I just can't stress that enough. Or you can end up with this. Beautiful proof eagle, right? Not really. Fake, 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 fake. Or maybe a nice little, nice kangaroo, right? Again, fake. Be careful out there. Mistake number 3, liquidating silver while prices are low. Now, we've all said it before, silver's a long game. You have to be patient, unless you no longer can, then it is what it is. Silver experiences plenty of dips and rises, but you've got to pick your battles. Now, that being said, though, if you got in a stack in silver as an actual investment, well, from the words of the knight in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, you chose poorly. Yet we see it every time silver jumps in price. People buying high out of FOMO and getting burned when they try to turn it around in less than a year. And then slamming silver as a crappy quote-unquote investment. Too bad, not sad. Should have done your research and looked up the historical price charts for silver. They're out there. Just take a minute. Mistake number 4, buying from pawn shops. Now, these are iffy because I've actually heard of people getting good deals. It doesn't happen often, but I have heard of people getting good deals if they were being upfront and honest about it. Sometimes you might get that decent deal, but the majority of the time, you won't. Look, pawn shops buy low and sell high. That's what keeps their lights on. And to be honest, that's not very dissimilar from actual coin shops who pretty much do the same thing. But pawn shops just tend to take it to a higher level with their pricing. You're going to pay more. Mistake number 5, failing to diversify. Damn, I see this all the time. I really do. People getting top heavy in silver without branching out into gold or smart investments. If you're all in on hedging future earnings on silver, you might be disappointed. Now, I know a lot of folks who have a huge silver stack, and that's fine. That they've been doing it a long time. They continue to accumulate, but they also know that you can't just hedge everything based on silver. Some do, and it works for them, and that's fine, but I wouldn't recommend it. I'd recommend diversifying into other realms of future earnings. And if you're not 100% knowledgeable on how to invest, then please consult a professional. Don't just throw your money out there and see what sticks. That gets expensive. Mistake number 6, getting into numismatics without having any knowledge of them. I know, I get it. You see those nice shiny Morgans that all the YouTubers are showing off, and well, you really want to be part of the cool kids club and have some for yourself. I mean, they're nice. Make no mistake, they are beautiful. It's a great example here. It's dirty, but the details are sharp. But the problem is too many stackers fail to research prices on numismatics, and they end up getting burned on the high side of the pricing. And later down the road, they see the value of their new purchase at, let's face it, a much lower cost than what they bought it for. You're costing yourself a ton of money if you don't do your research first. My advice would be to build up your base stack of silver before you branch out into something you haven't researched. And then, hey, when you hit a certain number, go crazy and add what you want with your newfound knowledge. Mistake number 7, buying fractional silver. Look, I always catch heat on this one because I don't believe in buying fractional rounds of silver. The premiums are just too high, and I personally don't see the value for me. But I do realize that there are some out there who love this stuff. And you know what? I can respect that. For me personally, it's just not for me. And this is usually when the prepping types love to chime in and say, well, what are you going to do? Give up an ounce of silver for a loaf of bread? No. I'll use 90% silver coins as my fractional silver. And you can argue that with 95% of the U.S. population not knowing a thing about silver or constitutional silver, that no one's going to want to trade their stuff for your silver quarter or mercury dime. But if you're going to use that argument, then you might want to consider that those same protocols will apply when you try to use just about any kind of generic silver, right? I mean, they're going to say, is it real? Do I take your word for it being real? A lot of things to consider. But again, if you love the stuff, hey, have at it. And the last one, mistake number 8, collectibles and slab bullion. I like to add a collectible here and there, just to kind of, a little reward for myself. You don't want to get burned out on stacking the same old stuff week after week, month after month, year after year. You have to reward yourself and keep it interesting. I've branched out into foreign silver, coins, just everything, and I've had a blast with it. It keeps me, it keeps me going through all this stacking. But I do not see the point of slab bullion. I just don't. Why? This is just bullion. It's a bullion silver eagle. Unless it was a key date, then I can understand it. But for the most part, there's nothing rare about this 213 other than it being in a slab with the Golden Gate Bridge on it, which is the reason I bought it, actually. I was doing a project for it. So, yeah, I don't personally see the need for slab bullion. Now, numismatics and pre-33 gold and whatnot, sure. Most of my pre-33 gold is slabbed and certified, which means I don't have to mess with it. We don't have to verify it when it's time to sell. It'll be there. It'll be ready to go. So collectibles, yeah, absolutely reward yourself every now and then. Slab bullion, try to avoid it unless you really want what's on the slab itself.
3 hours later.
Can you move it along? I'm all out of time cards.
All right, there you have it. 8 mistakes, 8 common mistakes that stackers make, new and old. If I missed any, be sure to chime in below and add them, because we might have newer stackers checking out this video and be a good source of information. Those are the big 8 that I could think of. I'm pretty sure I missed quite a few. But those are the ones I came up with for this video. But anyway, be sure to leave that comment down below. Let me know your thoughts. I do love reading them. I do go through them, and I try to respond to each one. But that's going to wrap it up for this episode of the Silver and Gold Stack Attack. If you made it this far, well, kudos to you. I'll definitely catch up with you in the next episode. But in the meantime, what's that angry man going to yell at you for?
What do you want to do with your life?
Damn right. Get stacked. Stay safe and be well, everyone. I am out of here. Peace, folks.